welcome to the DeHart House podcast. My name is Alicia. This is a podcast about the fiber arts. So knitting, crocheting, spinning, sewing, and general just making things. So welcome. You can find me on all of the places as Alinny Knits too. So Instagram, Ravelry, and Etsy. I also have an Etsy shop called DeHart House Creations where I sell project bags and stitch markers and hand-dyed yarn. So I'd like to welcome any new viewers. Thank you so much for stopping in, and of course my returning viewers. And also thank you so much for watching. Yay. So as you can see, I'm working on my scrappy blanket. I'm participating in the Canadian Knitters winter camp, and it's currently snowball fight weekend, so I am trying to make as many squares as possible. So yay. I am drinking tea. It is noonish. Oh, I have a watch now. It is afternoon now on Saturday, March 24th, and this is episode 7. So I'm drinking tea. I've already had my coffee and breakfast and lunch, so no more coffee. That's a lie. I'll probably have another cup later. Anyway, this is a Christmas gift from my sister this past Christmas, so, and my nice travel mug, and yes, I love it. It works very well. I kind of wish it had a cozy because it is quite warm, but I actually like that if I'm walking in the cold, I can have something warm to hang on to. So, not that I've walked in the cold, I am in West Texas and it is very warm. Today is a little bit cooler than normal, so I am indoors in the air conditioning, but my AC isn't even running. It's cool enough outside that the house is staying very nice and comfortable, so I am wearing a shawl today. And so, yeah, what am I wearing? I'm wearing Drea's shawl that I knit in January, and I'll put the pattern name and designer's name down below here. So, yay. Okay, let's see. I was going to record yesterday. I like to record on Fridays, and my boyfriend got sick, so we think he had food poisoning. I brought home extra pizza. My sister and I went to Midland and we went shopping at the mall and we had pizza, and I brought some home for him, and it's a 45-minute drive home, and we think 45 minutes is too long for pizza to sit in the car on the way home before someone eats it. And he did put it in the oven and he did heat it back up before eating it. But yeah, I don't know what else it could have been, because everything else he ate that day sounded fine. So anyway, he was sick on Friday, and so I didn't feel comfortable recording. Anyway, he's better now, and those were pretty painful few hours for him. Few hours, it was like half the day. Anyway, so it's Saturday, which is fine because Friday I was able to knit quite a bit. So I have more to talk about, which is good. Okay, so I talked about what I'm wearing, and then, oh, I told myself to go grab this and I didn't, so I guess I'll put in a picture. I did finish one thing this week. It's what I was working on during the podcast last time, and that was a washcloth. And so the pattern is Grandmother's Favorite, and the needles I used are hand-me-down needles size 8, which is a 5mm on a circular needle, and the yarn I used is I Love This Cotton, which is a worsted weight 100% cotton in the Dove color. So I did finish that. shortly after recording, and so that's the only thing I finished this week. Yeah. So, works in progress. I have a few. I guess the first one I'll talk about is the one that is in my lap. So, my worsted weight scrap blanket. So, as I mentioned, it is Snowball Fight weekend, so I'm going to try to put on as many squares as possible for this little mini competition. So, this is based on a pattern by Shelley King, which is called Sock Yarn Blanket, and it is free on Ravelry. Since I'm using worsted weight yarn instead of fingering weight yarn, I did modify the pattern a bit. The only thing that I changed was the number of stitches. So I'm doing 13 by 13 squares instead of what she recommends, which I don't remember. But if you're looking for a free pattern with mitered squares, check out Shelley King's pattern. So, before this weekend, when the snowball fight started, I had 3 complete rows on my blanket. So I'm working on row 4. And it's funny because Friday I'm taking care of Michael and hoping that I don't have to take him to the hospital and trying to figure out what is wrong with him. And in between all of that and him getting some sleep, and I was knitting on a lot of my works in progress. And I went to check Instagram, and I see one of my teammates posting her hexagons that she's crocheting for the snowball fight. And I was like, is it snowball fight weekend? And sure enough, I check Ravelry, and yes, it's snowball fight weekend. So I dropped, excuse me, what I was working on, and I was like, oh my god, it's snowball fight weekend. And so I went into my craft room in here, and I grabbed the yarn that I had previously laid out and started working on my sock yarn blanket. So, well, my worsted weight yarn scrap blanket. Anyway, and so once I told Michael that it was snowball fight weekend, he's like, so I've lost you for the weekend. Okay, good to know. Anyway, so, yes, I'm on the 4th row, and so far I have added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 squares. So I've added 10 squares. It is a 20 square wide blanket, so I'm halfway across the 4th row right now. And yeah, a few weeks ago I did lay out all of the yarn for row 4. I planned out all the colors ahead of time so that when snowball fight time came around, I could just pick up the yarn and just go ahead and knit with it, because, you know, I'm trying to balance out the colors a little bit. Anyway, so these are all various worsted weight yarns. Some are DeHart, some are Karen, some are Lion brand, and I do have a couple in here that were gifted to me that I don't know the names of. So anyway, so I'm having fun working on this, and I'm thinking maybe after this 4th row that I might start working it out from the corner instead of doing it by rows. But I don't know, because I feel like working it out from the corner might be harder to plan. I think I'm going to keep doing it by rows. Yeah. I don't know, I want it to look more like a blanket than a scarf. And right now it kind of looks like a scarf. So anyway, I was going to work on it while recording, but the next square that I have planned out, I actually have, I'll just grab it. I'm also trying to use up scraps, and here's a little scrap that I have, which is not enough to do a square. And so I'm going to alternate rows with another color, so it'll be tan and cream. And I just didn't want to mess with that while recording, so that'll be my next square, next to this nice mustard. I will have, yep, over here, cream and tan. So I actually didn't realize that I don't have many variegated colors in worsted weight in the acrylic. And so I thought, well, those 4 variegated colors that I do have are going to really stand out in this blanket. And so I guess I could just stripe together some of my scraps so that they'll sort of mimic a variegated yarn square, and then those variegated squares won't be so strange, because I feel like 4 variegated yarns throughout this whole blanket, like anytime you repeat them, it's going to be super obvious, and so it's not like I can go back and tear it out anyway. So that's my thought, is to add in some striped squares to mimic a variegated yarn square. So yeah. Anyway, so that is one of the things that I'm working on, and I'll probably only work on it this weekend, and then when the snowball fight is over, I really need to go back to working on my socks, which is my next work in progress that I'll talk about. So I am working on just a 2x2 rib sock, and I'm knitting them 2 at a time, magic loop on Chow Goose size 1, which is a 2.25 millimeter, and I have a 40-inch cable. And like I said, I'm doing a 2x2 rib. Sorry, I'm not actually sitting on the couch, I'm sitting in my chair, and so I can actually touch the table, and I'm so sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Anyway, I'm doing 2x2 rib for the whole sock. I'm knitting this cuff down, and of course I'm past the heels now, which I did fish lip kiss heels, and plain stockinette on the bottom of the foot. And so since I've been doing this whole thing in rib, I haven't been able to really see what this yarn is supposed to do. And so I'm finally seeing that patterning that was intended with this yarn, which is pretty neat. So you can see my stitch marker down here is where I was last time I showed these, and I don't think I showed these last time. I don't think I had made any progress last week. Anyway, so so I finished the cuff, I worked the heel, and I'm halfway through my foot. And it's funny because I couldn't find my cardboard cutout to try this on to make sure I have the right length. And I checked all my bags, I checked all my project bags, I checked the vehicles, all the rooms in the house. I even checked my office at work because I thought, what if I took it and for some reason took it out of my bag and put it in a drawer in my desk? I don't know. Anyway, it was in here in my craft room with my other cardboard templates. So I have cardboard templates for cutting out the pieces for making project bags, and yeah, I just put it in with the other cardboard and I didn't even think about it. So I found it this morning, and yes, I am halfway down the foot, and so this next week I need to finish these socks for all of the knit-alongs that I'm participating in that have to do with socks. And then they can also count for winter camp. So yeah, I'm excited to finish these and start my April socks in April. And I don't think I'm going to do 2 at a time. It's, yeah, it's not as portable as 1 at a time. And I kind of need them to be more portable because that's when I get most of my sock knitting done, is when I'm either walking to work or walking on the treadmill or just something quick and easy that I can pick up and knit in the car. And this is not as convenient as one sock. And so they haven't been getting, there I go again, as much attention as they should because it's just not convenient. So it was neat to try 2 at a time, and I made it through the heels. You know, I worked one heel on one sock all the way through, and then moved to the next sock and did the heel all the way through, and then you can keep going with the rounds. And so that wasn't as awkward as I thought it was going to be. So that was nice. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this method. It's just that when I knit socks, I need it to be portable. And so for me, this isn't the best method. But would I do it again? Yes. It just wouldn't be something that I would plan to speed through. So if I need to speed through, it needs to be portable so that I can do it on the go. And then it's much easier to find time to knit. So anyway, those are my Mean Green machine socks, and the yarn is Online Super Sock. It is, I believe, a discontinued yarn according to Ravelry, and this is in one of their winter colors. I believe there were 10 or 12 different versions of this, so I got the one with shades of green, and then they have different colors mixed in, but they all kind of have this stripy, it's like there's striping and then there's this like variegated piece in between. Anyway, I like how it looks on the strand because it is just black and white, you know, a couple centimeters of black, a couple centimeters of white, and then anyway. So yeah, these are going to be my hiking socks, and that's really cool because Michael and I are planning our summer vacation, and we're deciding on what kind of vacation we're going to have, and so there might be some hiking, there might not. We'll see. Anyway, so I anticipate finishing those this week. March 31st is coming up, and so I need to have them finished within March to call them my March socks. Okay. What else have I been working on? I think I might have worked on Michael's sock a little bit because it's one sock and it's more portable, but I also knew I needed to get mine finished, so I didn't even bring his sock in here because I have no idea how much progress I made, maybe 2 rounds, and I feel like that's not worth showing, so I want to finish my socks, and then I can quickly finish his. I'm almost finished with the heel, and then I can start brand new socks, because I feel like I've been working on the same stuff for a while, and I'd like to see a better turnaround time on and off the needles. So speaking of that, I started something new. I was working on my green socks that I just showed you yesterday for quite a while, and I was rewatching episodes of Leverage. This is a TV show. I really enjoy it, and Parker's definitely my favorite character. And so I was rewatching episodes of Leverage while working on my socks, and I think I got through like 3 episodes and then said, I am so bored with my socks. So I know I've been wanting to make a hat for some time now, so I just went ahead and started a hat. So I printed this pattern quite a while ago. I was thinking about making it around Christmas time, and it never happened. And so I went on into my folder where I've already printed patterns. And I went through that folder and I found this. So this is a free pattern on Ravelry, the Higgledy Piggledy hat. And it has this nice texture pattern, like a waffly kind of pattern. Is this focusing? Come on. The picture is in black and white, just because I printed it in black and white. It's a color picture on Ravelry. So, so I cast this on. This is a DK weight hat. And so I had DK weight yarn in my stash, and so I picked out my leftovers from actually the shawl that I'm wearing. So this is Baby Bee, let me get the name right, Baby Bee Sweet Delight Prints. This is a DK weight yarn. The color is called Green Camo 2, and this is 60% acrylic and 40% polyamide, and it's really soft actually. So it's white with specks of a really light lime green and like a peach. And so this is actually the contrasting color in my shawl that I'm wearing now. And I think the purple is just so overbearing that you guys can't see the flecks of green and peach, but I can. So anyway, so I had quite a bit left over from the shawl, and so I want to make a hat. So I got through the ribbing on the hat, and so here you can see the flecks. And so the pattern says to do 1.5 inches of ribbing, and so that's what I have done. And then, so for that part, I'm trying to get the camera to focus. Come on. There we go. So, you know, ribbing is ribbing, and I don't have to think about it. And so what I was doing was 2 rounds on the hat, 2 rounds on my socks, 2 rounds on my hat, 2 rounds on my socks, so that I've got the excitement of a new project, but I'm also making progress on an old project. And that went really well. So I believe this is called Twisted Rib, and I need to look that up. But the pattern says to knit through the back loop and then purl, and knit through the back loop and purl, and just repeat that around. And I really like the way that that looks. So yeah, I'm liking it. So I'm knitting these on size 4 needles. These are ChiaoGoo red lace, size 4, and I can't remember the millimeters for size 4. Let's see, 3.5 millimeter. And this does have the, 40-inch cable. So I'm knitting this hat magic loop style, you know, until I guess I could do magic loop for the whole thing, couldn't I? Even with the decreases. Yep, so I'm just going to knit the whole thing magic loop. Okay, cool. I just decided that. I thought I'd have to switch to DPNs to do the decreases, but why would I need to do that? Right? Anyway, I didn't want to have to sift through all of the hand-me-down DPNs to find a set of size 4s, especially since casting on with DPNs is not my favorite. And so since I was using this as a palette cleanser, I wanted it to be nice and smooth and easy. And so I just went with Magic Loop in ChowGoose, and since I'm storing these in the packaging that they came in, they're really easy to find in my storage. So I have all my needles together. Hand-me-downs are not, and the hand-me-downs are not in their original packaging, so I have to use a tool to, measure the size of each needle to find what I need. And so, let me see if I have, oh yeah. So, anyway, I'm fortunate enough to have inherited so many supplies, knitting needles, crochet hooks, circular and DPNs, and straight needles, so many straight needles, as well as various notions, a couple of tape measures, stitch markers, yeah. So I've been very fortunate in that respect that I haven't had to purchase my supplies. So anyway, I'm very thankful for this. I always have this out. I keep my needles in 3 drawers. The top, well, 2 drawers. There's a drawer for circular needles and a drawer for straight needles and DPNs. And so I have those together. And then this just sits on top of the 3 drawer unit because I know I'm going to need to use this anytime I'm picking out a hand-me-down needle. So anyway, yeah, so I started a hat, and it should be a pretty short project, so we'll see how long that takes me. And yeah, I haven't even read ahead in the pattern yet to see. Oh, see, round 1 and 2 knit everything. I could have done 2 more rounds, but that's okay. So, so that's what I'm working on. I have hat, socks, blanket. Yes, there we go. Cool. All right, so what's next? Stash enhancement, acquisitions, things I've purchased. So, conveniently set my hat right on top of this box. So I ordered more yarn online, and I'm not going to order anything else until after, way after DFW Fiberfest. So DFW Fiberfest is April 7th through the 9th, and I'm planning on going, and I didn't sign up for any classes, but I am planning on just going into the market and shopping from all of the vendors. So yeah, I'm excited about that. So I ordered some yarn on Craftsy. They were having a sale on sock yarn, and so I got this box out in front of my house. And it was funny because my sister was picking me up from work to go shopping, and she drove by my house on the way to the college to pick me up. And she says, "I saw a box of soda out on your front porch when I drove by, and it was this box." And so from the street, it did look like a box of cans of soda. And so we pulled up in my driveway, and I was like, why is there a box of soda on my front porch? And then I see that it's something that I ordered. So funny story. Anyway, so I got some Cloudborn. Oh yeah. It's so soft. Cloudborn Fibers Merino Superwash Sock Twist. A little bliss in every stitch. That's so cute. Ooh. Come on. Come on. You can do it. There you go. So this is black, obviously. So I got black. I have gray heather and charcoal heather. And so I wanted to get colors that coordinate with each other and with my wardrobe and Michael's wardrobe. And so whatever these end up being, whether they're hats or mittens or scarves or socks, it will work out. And so we shall see. So I got these, and then I got one more skein. Oh yeah, so these are, I just need one tag. 80% superwash merino wool and 20% polyamide. These are 100-gram skeins, so 467 yards. Yeah, and it is very soft. So maybe a cowl or some mittens. I want to make us some mittens because I have gloves, but they're very thick gloves. We bought them when we were living in Montana and in the cold for the winter, and so we got some gloves that are really thick, and I just don't need that heavy of winter wear and that bulky of winter wear while living here in West Texas. And so that's great on a day where it is like below freezing and we're having to scrape off the car. They're great for that. But on a day when it's, 36 degrees Fahrenheit, and so it's a little above freezing but still cold enough that you want to have a layer on, I don't want to put on these gloves that are rated for, minus 20 degree weather. So I want to knit us some mittens at some point so that when it does get cold, they're already made and they're ready to go. So, and it's a small enough item like socks that I could easily fit that in and do that over the summer. So anyway, I also got another Cloudborn Fibers skein, and this is a self-striping skein of yarn. And they showed pictures of a sample of this knit up, and I thought that was so neat because they did different stitch counts. So they had somewhere between 6 and 8 different samples based on whether you do 54 stitches or 56 stitches or 60 stitches or 68 stitches, and you can see the variance in the stripings depending on how many stitches you use. And I just thought that was really clever. So, and I love the way that these colors go together. So there's a nice green, light blue, and gray. And I'm excited to see this knit up, and it is very soft. And so with the merino and the polyamide, yeah, I don't know. They're definitely going to be socks. Are they going to be April or May? Maybe April. Maybe April has stripy socks. I made striped socks in January. February was more like a blending between the colors, and then, well, March is striped. I haven't decided yet which skein will be April. So I guess that will be announced on the next podcast, right? Because it'll be April. Anyway, and this goes really nicely with the grays that I ordered, and so anyway, all four of these go really well together, and so when I opened the box, I was like, oh my gosh, it was like I was planning something, but I wasn't. I just went, ooh, I like that color. Ooh, I like that color. Anyway, so that's what I got this week, and actually, before I ordered this yarn, I had ordered some things from Knit Picks, and they have yet to arrive, and so after that, I shouldn't be getting any more deliveries because I'm good to go. Definitely good to go. So yes, that is what I have acquired. So shop news. So DeHart House Creations on Etsy is going to have a shop update on Sunday, March 25th at 5 p.m. Central Time. So at 5 p.m. I'm going to log in and post these new items. So I will show you. I have 2 new stitch marker sets, one of which will have multiple listings of this one set. So I have a set of 3, and it is music themed. So we've got the treble clef and some 8th notes. Oh, an 8th note and 2 16th notes. I think I remember something from band. So come on, focus. So treble clef, a couple 16th notes, and an 8th note, and each of them has a little gem, sparkly rhinestone on them. And so this is a set of 3, and you can see I've already packaged them up. And so these will be posted on Sunday. And then I have 1 set of 5 stitch markers. It's hard to split up something when it's themed with 5. Anyway, I have yet to actually package them. I just punched holes in a piece of cardboard so I could at least show these to you guys. But I need to actually print the larger cards and package in the larger packaging. So there will be 1 set of this, and here is the set of 5. So it is dog themed. So I love my dog, and a bone, and a doghouse, and then the bowl with a bone in it and a paw print. So this set of 5 will be up in the shop on Sunday. Yeah. I debated keeping it for myself, but anyway, so I have 2 new sets of stitch markers, and those are it. And then I will have some new bags. I have not finished them yet. You can focus now. I have not finished the bags yet. I did cut out the fabric, so I'll at least show you the fabric. I will be posting fox bags. So these are going to be, there it goes, classy foxes. So some with glasses and some with hats and ties, and they're also handsome. Ooh, maybe handsome foxes. Classy foxes. Okay, and so this will be the exterior fabric, and then on the interior we're going to do houndstooth. So gray and white houndstooth with the gray classy foxes. And I won't be doing this in sweater size because I didn't get enough fabric. So we will have medium, which is sock size, and notions, which is small. So those will get finished and posted tomorrow evening. And I gotta get this thing to focus. Thank you. Okay, so one new set of bags and 2 new stitch marker sets will be going up on Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Time, March 25th. So check it out. Okay, that's it for shop news. I did get more dye colors, and so I'm going to be playing around with hand dyeing different colors in the near future. Probably not this week because I have enough on my plate. And so you'll be seeing some new yarn colors from me at some point. And yeah. So life stuff. Running, I've been very bad about this week. I did not run. I went to run on Wednesday night, and time got away from me, so I walked on the treadmill instead of running. But that's as close as I got to actually running. So either today or tomorrow I need to run 1.75 miles to sort of stay on track with my plan. So that's going to happen. And then, yeah, my sister and I went shopping and I got a watch. So she and I stopped at a shop that was going out of business. So I got a really good sale on it. And so we got ourselves some fancy watches. And yeah, no. Not going to focus. It's a Fossil watch and I really like it. I had more of a sport watch and with all the buttons on the side and the timers, and the buttons on the side don't work anymore, so I can't change the time when time changes for daylight savings time, and so I don't wear that watch anymore because it's an hour off. So anyway, I got a new watch. And we went to Bath and Body Works and bought a bunch of wallflowers because they were on sale, and so my house smells amazing. And I got some new lotion and soaps, and yeah. What else did we? Oh, we got a Sam's Club membership, and so we went to Sam's Club and we were splitting bags of lettuce and cartons of eggs, and it was funny. So so we went to Sam's Club and we did some price comparing and bought a few things and easily spent an hour in there. Could have been more, but they were closing, so we had to leave if we wanted to buy anything. Anyway, so what else? Reading, I've made very little progress on reading. Yeah, I'm still trying to, what's the word? I want to say maximize. Find the right setup where I can sit in a comfortable chair, knit on a project while reading a book on my tablet. But if I sit in my comfy recliner in the living room and I'm knitting, then I have to set the tablet on one of the arms of the chair, and so I'm having to, turn my neck to look over here, and after a while my neck starts to hurt, and so I would like for it to be in front of me, but I mean, I'd have to get a music stand or something to set in front of my chair to... Anyway, so I would like to figure out a better setup where I can easily do these multitask. with reading and knitting, but yeah. So I haven't done much reading. I did do a bit of knitting. I'm going to do much more knitting this weekend because I need to get more squares added to my blanket. And I need to run a little bit and watch what I eat because I bought a big box of Cheez-Its at Sam's Club and I need to not eat that whole thing. Oh, those salty snacks are so good. I love salty snacks. Chips, Cheez-Its, pretzels, nuts. Almost every nut you buy comes with salt on it. So, yeah. Pistachios even. I thought, what's the point of salting pistachios? They're mostly covered by a shell. But yeah, they come salted. I think we got the lightly salted, and it did not taste any different than the regular pistachios that I guess are full salted. Anyway. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I can't remember. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I went out of my comfort zone and I reached out on Ravelry to see if there were any other knitters in this area in West Texas. And oh my gosh, someone responded. And so I went to a sort of knit night. So I met people who have the same interest as me, and we got along great, and they invited me back, and this is awesome for me. I'm definitely an introvert. I don't like to go out of my comfort zone, and so this was something I challenged myself to do, and I did it, and I'm so happy. And so one of the first things they mentioned when I got there was going to DFW Fiberfest. And so we've all made plans to go to DFW Fiberfest, and they're including me in their group, and I'm just so thankful, and I've been so happy. And I came home and told my boyfriend, oh my gosh, I made friends. And as a science person who's an introvert and likes to sit home and knit, and I don't have many opportunities to meet people except, at work. And so anyway, I was really proud of myself for putting myself out there and sticking with it. And yeah, I'm excited and looking forward to making new bonds with people, and yeah, learning something new, talking about knitting, sharing our experiences, and yeah, so that was a big thing for me this past week, and I think that pretty much wraps it up. So thanks for joining me, and I will be back. Let's see. Now I gotta look at a calendar because I'm not going to record the weekend of DFW Fiberfest because I will be enjoying the Fiberfest. And so I'm going to pull up a calendar on my phone to make sure that that's not next weekend. So, no, next weekend is April 1st. So I will put up episode 8 next week, and then you won't hear from me for another 2 weeks because I'll be enjoying the festival. And so when I come back after the festival, I'll share all of that plus 2 weeks worth of knitting. And so that'll be good. So I will see you guys next week. Enjoy your week, meet your knitting goals, and I'll see you next time.